Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. In today's tutorial I'm going to be drafting a basic sleeve pattern. I'll be drafting both a long sleeve and a short sleeve basic sleeve pattern, and for this I'll be using my pattern paper and these curved pattern masters. Please do well to stay tuned to the end of this video. Also leave a like if you find this video very helpful. Do also subscribe to this channel and turn on your post notification so you can always get notified whenever I upload new videos. And let's get right into it. If you have any questions, you can also drop that in the comments section. So when drafting a basic sleeve pattern or a sleeve, you have to fold your material or your pattern paper into two. You're going to be dividing your measurements by 2. I'm just going to go ahead and fold this pattern paper into 2. So once I've folded my pattern paper into 2, like I said, it's because we're taking this measurement and we're dividing each measurement by 2. So the first thing I'm going to do is to draw out a straight line. I'm going to be drawing out a straight line here, and this line is going to serve as my starting line. So this is my starting line. The next line I'm going to be marking is my biceps line. For my biceps line, I'm going to be going down by 5 inches from this line, just like this, by 5 inches, and I'm going to go ahead and draw a straight line at that point. So as I've drawn this line, this is my biceps line, and then the next line you're going to be marking out is going to be your sleeve length. So for this, I'm going to mark it out a short sleeve first. So my short sleeve, I'm going to be using 9 inches, and I'm going to add in 1 extra inch for allowance. Short sleeve are usually around 8-7 inches, just depending on how short you want it to be. So I'm just going to go ahead and extend this line. So now the next thing that you want to do is to draw a line upwards from this point to this point. So for that, I'm just going to use this ruler and I'm going to draw a line like this. So once I've drawn this line, next thing I'm going to do is to take my round armhole measurement. For that, you can just place a tape around your armpit and measure that. Or if you're sewing a dress and you've already cut out the armhole, just go ahead and measure round that curve. And then what you have, you're going to be dividing it by 2. So my round armhole measurement is 20. I'm using 20 for this pattern. So I'm going to divide 20 by 2, and that gives me 10 inches. So for this, I'm going to be leaving a mark at 10 inches. Then I'll go ahead and divide 10 inches again by 2, and that gives me 5 inches. I'll be leaving a mark at 5 inches. So from those 5 inches, I'm going to go ahead and use my ruler, and I'm going to use this part. Just try to place it as curved as possible. So I'm using this part of my ruler to create a curve like this to meet this 5 inches that I've marked. So you just go ahead and divide yours and create that curve to meet that point. So I'm going to turn my pattern master to the other way, and I'm going to try to create another curve. For this, just place your pattern master the same way you see me doing. You can also use your freehand, but using a pattern master makes it easier. So I'll just go ahead and create another line. So once you have that, just try to even out this line. Okay, so once I've done that now, I'll just go ahead and use my tape to measure around this line to make sure that I still have 10 inches. You're going to hold your tape this way and you're going to place it like this to make sure you still have the same measurements you need for your armhole. So now I have my 10 inches here, so I'll leave a mark here at 10 inches. So the next measurement you're going to be needing is going to be your round sleeve measurement. My round sleeve measurement, I'll be using 14 for this pattern. And I'm going to be dividing 14 by 2 because this pattern paper is marked into 2. It's folded into 2, don't forget. So 14 divided by 2 is going to give me 7 inches. So I'm just going to mark 7 inches at this point. Usually for your dress you can add an allowance. So just be adding an allowance of half an inch. So I'll be connecting this line to this one. So once you have this is basically what you have for your basic sleeve pattern. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut this out right now. Once I've cut it out, this is basically what we have for the basic sleeve pattern. This is basically what we have for the basic sleeve pattern. So this is the part that fits into the armhole line that you have created on your body's dress. So this is for the short sleeve pattern. So I'll just go ahead and notch this. This notch now at the sleeve indicates that this is the point that joins at the shoulder line. So this is for your short sleeve pattern. For the long sleeve pattern, I've gone ahead to fold another pattern paper into 2 again, because we're also dividing measurements by 2. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is to begin to impute your straight lines. I'm going to start at this point to draw a straight line, which is going to serve as my starting line. So after drawing this line, the next line I'm going to draw is going to be my biceps line. My biceps line, I'm going to go down by 5 inches. I'm also going to mark out my elbow line, which is at 13.5 inches, and the full length of this sleeve, which is going to be at 23 inches. I'll go ahead and extend these lines. So next, now I'm going to connect this point to this point with yet another straight line. And then, just like we did for the short sleeve, you're going to take your round armhole measurements, your round arm measurements, or the measurement of the top which you're inserting this sleeve to, and then you're going to be dividing that by 2. So for this, I'm going to be using 20 inches, and 20 inches divided by 2 gives me 10 inches. So I'll go ahead and leave a mark at 10 inches. I'll also go ahead to divide 10 inches by 2 again. So divide whatever you have by 2, and mine gives me 5 inches. So I'll leave a mark at 5 inches. From this 5 inches line, you're going to use your curved pattern master to connect it this way. Just try to place the curved parts on this line to give it a very nice shape. So I'm going to be doing this. So once I've done this, I'm just going to turn my pattern master the other way, and I'll be using this edge to connect this line to my biceps line. So once I've done that, this is what I have. So I'll just go ahead and make sure that this line has the same 10 inches that is required for the round armhole. So I'll place my tape this way, just like you see me doing like this. And this is where I have my new 10 inches. So the next thing now you want to do is to take your elbow measurements, and you're going to be dividing your elbow measurements by 2. And my elbow measurement is 12 inches, so I'm going to be dividing 12 inches by 2, and that gives me 6 inches. And next I'm going to be adding 1 inch sewing allowance to this 6 inches, and that gives me 7 inches. Then I'll be measuring my wrist, and I'm going to be dividing that by 2. So just go ahead and measure my wrist this way, and I have 9 inches. So I'm going to be dividing 9 by 2, and that gives me 4.5. I'll mark 4.5 on this full length line, and then I'll also add an extra 1 inch allowance. Then I'll use my ruler to connect this upward like this, and I'll also connect this one to this 10 inches mark here. So once you've done this, this is basically what you have for your long sleeve measurement. The difference now is that you're going to add an additional line, which is the elbow line and your full length line. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut this out also. So this is for my long sleeve and this is for my short sleeve. Again, I'm going to leave a notch here. This notch indicates that this is where I'll be joining the sleeve from at my shoulder line. So I do hope you found this tutorial very helpful. If you have any questions, please don't leave it in the comment section. Connect with me on Instagram by clicking the link on my bio. Also, do also subscribe to this channel and leave a like for me if you found this video very helpful, and I'll see you in my next tutorial. Bye guys.